Hello, BookTube, from both of us. It is an absolutely beautiful, gorgeous Friday here in Boston. The window is open, that's why it's so deafeningly loud. But it's 70 degrees. It's sunny and beautiful. There's not a breath of air or chill anywhere. It's just gorgeous. It rained all day yesterday, and last night there was a heavy fog. It was really made the last dog walk of the evening interesting, surreal almost. And I think if I'm reading data correctly, it's going to rain all day tomorrow. It's going to rain even heavier than it did yesterday. So today felt like a little holiday. So the Bean and I have been out quite a bit. We've been enjoying ourselves quite a bit. I had a rotten morning, so I felt that I was owed that. I still have a huge amount of writing work to do today, but every once in a while you just have to indulge. And we have some mail. And that might cause some of you to twitch a little bit remembering yesterday's mail haul, because yesterday's mail haul got out of control. Even I am willing to admit that. I had one package and one periodical, and it went on for 40 minutes of me just going through that periodical, article by article by article. Now, some periodicals did come in the mail today. The TLS, The Nation, and Harper's came today. But I'm intentionally not going to walk you through them because you don't need to go through that again. You're just psychically recovering as it is. We have two packages of mail itself, and that's what we will do. There's no reason for me to drag you through my every qualm and quibble in those three periodicals. So we'll just do these two packages, and then we'll be done in well under 40 minutes. So let's see what this first one is. It's from the great folks at Soho Press. What is this? This comes out in early June. This is After the Lights Go Out. I want them dead, as much as you do. I would like nothing better than to hear that engine gunning at a normal stop sign in a normal part of the city. It's not the Indy 500. I would like nothing better to hear that engine gunning and then hear the engine burst into flame and hear the screams of the driver. I would like nothing better than that. But 'tis not to be. Let's see here. So I'm totally derailed. Let's get back to where we were. This comes out in early June from Soho Press. This is After the Lights Go Out by John Vercher. And this is a gripping, let's see here, a harrowing and spellbinding story about family, the complications of mixed-race relationships, misplaced loyalties, and the interplay of racism and memory. So is this a novel? Xavier Scarecrow Wallace, a mixed-race MMA fighter on the wrong side of 30, is facing the fight of his life. Xavier can no longer deny he is losing his battle with chronic traumatic encephalopathy, CTE, or pugilistic dementia. Through the fog of memory loss, migraines, and paranoia, Xavier does his best to stay in shape while he waits for the call that will reinstate him after a year-long suspension. He watches his diet and trains every day at the Philadelphia gym owned by his cousin manager, Schott, a retired champion boxer to whom Xavier owes an unpayable debt. Xavier makes ends meet by teaching youth classes at Schott's gym and living rent-free in the house of his white father, whom Xavier has been forced to commit to a nursing home because of the progress of his end-stage Alzheimer's. Dementia has revealed his father's latent racism, and Xavier finally gains insight into why his black mother left the family when Xavier was young. Then he is offered a choice at redemption, a last-minute comeback fight in the largest MMA promotion. If he can get himself back in the game, he'll be able to clear his name and begin to pay off Schott. But with his memory in shreds and his life crumbling around him, can he hold on to the focus he needs to survive? That sounds really good. Okay. So is the author an MMA fighter, or is he from an MFA program? It's one of the two. I doubt it's both. John Vercher lives in the Philadelphia area with his wife and his two sons. He has a bachelor's degree in English from the University of Pittsburgh and an MFA in creative writing from the Mountain View Master of Fine Arts program. He's a contributing writer for WBUR Boston's Cognoscenti, and NPR features his essay on race, identity, and parenting. His debut novel, 3/5, was named one of the best books of the year by the Chicago Tribune. So this is not his debut novel, but it is a novel. And it comes out in June. Okay. Where did I see that it comes out in June? It's being recalcitrant here. Yeah, June. This comes out in June, so I don't have to worry about it right at the moment, but it sounds really good. And then we have another package, and then we will be done. We will not be troweling through magazines. We will just do this next package, and then we will be done. So what have we got here? Oh, I touched an invoice. Gross. I touched an invoice. What is this? Okay, did we see this already? I don't have a sheet for this thing. This is by Anthony Kronman, and it's called After Disbelief, on disenchantment, disappointment, eternity, and joy. Oh, we don't want to block the beam. There we go. After Disbelief. What have we got here? I don't have a sheet, so we'll read from the cover. Many people of faith believe the meaning of life depends on our connection to an eternal order of some kind. Atheists derive this belief as a childish superstition. Not all of them do. Quite a few atheists say, I simply don't have any evidence. I'm not convinced. That's all. They don't deride anything. In this wise and profound book, Anthony Kronman offers an alternative to these two entrenched positions, arguing that neither addresses the complexities of the human condition. We can never reach God, as religion promises, but cannot give up the longing to do so either. Nonsense. Of course you can. What on earth does that mean? The longing to see Santa Claus? We can't ever give up the longing to see Santa Claus? We are condemned by our nature to set goals we can neither abandon nor fulfill, yet paradoxically we are able to approach more closely if we try. Goals? Yes. What on earth does that mean, though? Those aren't equivalent. Are those two sentences next to each other supposed to mean that one flows from the other? Maybe your goal is to paint your house, or do up the old barn in the back of the house, make it into a workable room. Is that impossible? No, it's not impossible. Is there any example of someone who has done that themselves? Yes, there is. Is there tangible proof that it can be done? Yes, there is tangible proof that it can be done. It is not a completely irrational thing to dream about doing that and hope to do it and even lay the groundwork to do it. Even if it ultimately is beyond your control. It's not weird. It's not irrational. Anyway, the human condition is one of inevitable disappointment tempered by moments of joy. Or it's one of inevitable joy tempered by moments of disappointment. Saying that the human condition is one of inevitable disappointment tempered by moments of joy, the joy is in moments here and there, sounds very religious, sounds particularly Christian. About this vale of tears, about this horrible, condemned and broken world with all of its broken inhabitants. Resolutely humanistic and theologically inspired, this moving book offers a rational path to the love of God amidst the disenchantments of our time. So this is not giving us, what is it again? An alternative to these two entrenched positions. It's not doing anything of the kind. The author is presenting you with many people of faith believe the meaning of life depends on our connection to an eternal order of some kind, and an order maker, a creator, a God of some kind. And this is not a path between that and the derision of atheism. This is just the author telling you to be monotheistic Christian. That's all. It offers a rational path to the love of God amidst the disenchantments of our time. Is it rational to love something that you can neither see nor produce, that no one has ever seen or produced? No, it is not rational to do that. You can still do it. It can be irrational. And still give you joy, give meaning to your life. Absolutely. But that rational, the word there, seems to me to imply the author is going to say, well, it's not irrational to do this. Who's this author when he's at home? We and I are obviously going to argue. This is a finished copy, so this might be out already. Anthony Kronman is Sterling Professor of Law and a former dean at Yale Law School. He is the author of Confessions of a Born-Again Pagan and Education's End, Why Our Colleges and Universities Have Given Up on the Meaning of Life. All right, Anthony, you and I are going to go a few rounds. That's what we're going to do until we're suffering from pugilistic dementia. We're going to go a few rounds. Okay, well, After Disbelief, I'm assuming that in the context of this book, granted that was just the dust jacket, it's not the book. I haven't sampled the book. The book could be far more complex. But from the dust jacket that we just read, I'm assuming that what the author says comes after disbelief is belief. You might have a period disbelieving, but then you come back to believing in God, even though to loving God and letting him run your life, even though you can't see him, you can't produce him. No one's ever experienced him at the same time, etc., etc., etc. Fine, if you want to do that. I know plenty of Christians who do that, and it gives their life a meaning that is absolutely real. The meaning is absolutely real. It helps them. It gives them an armor, a crutch, a springboard, whatever you want to call it, that allows them to fearlessly be a better version of themselves than they would be without that. And I love that and totally respect it. That's not the same thing as saying that it's rational to believe that. We shall see. We shall see. I will find a date on this thing and read it right away. What I wouldn't give to talk to the author. Oh, I was blocking the baby's face. As long as you remember, no matter where you come down on this question, that God spelled backwards is dog. Okay? Anyway, that is our mail haul for today. Sans periodicals. No TLS, no Nation, no Harper's. We have After Disbelief. I have a feeling I'm going to argue with this author. And we have After the Lights Go Out, a novel about an MMA fighter who is fighting not only the personal battle of feeling like his own mind is wavering, but also the tragedy of his father starting to express racist thoughts when his dementia, when his own separate dementia worsens. I don't agree with the terminology there in the pub sheet that we read, that the father's worsening dementia reveals his lifelong racism. I don't think that's necessarily how it works at all. This could be, who knows how it's wired. It's not necessarily true that was lurking there all along and was only revealed by this horrific disease. It could be something else. But the book might do a far more, again, nuanced job of walking that line. But the idea there of the son dealing with his own kind of dementia and also dealing with a different kind of dementia in his father, that kind of father and son story, that is explosive, has explosive potential. We'll just see if the author can do it. I will read it in due time. But anyway, that's the mail for today. No digressions. We have had plenty of those already just with these two books. Now I'm going to wrap things up. I will be back. Thank you, BookTube.